Hi, I'm Rebecca Brand, and this video is about recipes you can make in your own kitchen to give away as DIY Christmas presents. We're now in our homes a little longer. These presents are beautiful and wonderful and fun to make with the kids and really inexpensive. This year especially is the time to make DIY Christmas presents. We're going to start off with a Snowman Cupcake. It's red velvet cake with cream cheese frosting and toppled with, snow from the air. That would be coconut for this recipe. And a little mustache on that snowman, just for the cuteness factor. They are delicious. The next recipe is something we can all make with a leftover cake or a grocery cake of chocolate. I make rum balls with that. It's so easy because you just roll them up. I make all kinds of rum balls in this recipe, so check that out because you can pick your favorite kind and give a box of those away or make them all like I did in this recipe. And if you're making some DIY recipes to give away, isn't it fun to melt some chocolate in that microwave? What about chocolate covered cherries? These will last in your refrigerator for weeks, so you can make them way ahead of time. I love this recipe and I hope you do too. And a super simple recipe but everybody loves is chocolate mint brownies made with candy cane sprinkled on top. It's lovely, delicious, easy, the frosting's simple, and yet it's so special and such a perfect thing to give away for Christmas time. And if you have kids in the house, making cake pops is so much fun. This is a recipe I copycatted from Starbucks because I just thought they looked great in that case when I was getting my latte. This is a really fun recipe, and again, I use a leftover cake that you get at the grocery store, or maybe you want to make one in your kitchen. I don't care. But it is so simple and so easy and so much fun. And again, it has melted chocolate. Yum! I hope you have fun in your warm, cozy kitchen, perhaps making one of these recipes. Enjoy the show. And today we're making red velvet snowman cupcakes with a big old cherry on them for his nose. You might want to make these to give them away as Christmas presents because they are just too cute. The ingredients for this dish are sugar, butter, eggs, buttermilk, that's distilled white vinegar, vanilla extract, red food coloring, flour, baking chocolate, soda, and baking powder. Now let's talk about the fun stuff, the frosting. And in that you have cream cheese, powdered sugar, butter, vanilla extract, and then the fun part of the recipe, and that would be the mazzetta, maraschino cherries, the mustaches, the eyeballs, and then the coconut, which is the snow. So we have to set the oven to 350 degrees. You want that to pre-bake. So I'm putting 2 cups of flour in a sieve because I gotta sift the flour. So to the flour, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Teaspoon. And you need 1 tablespoon of baking chocolate, and you stir it in to sift it through, or kind of evening out in your recipe as you do that. So a cake is much more velvety if you sift it. And now put it aside. Now it's time to cream the butter and the sugar together. So I'm adding 1 stick of butter, which is 1/2 a cup, and it's at room temperature. It's really soft. And we add 1/2 cups of plain old white sugar. And with our mixer, we mix it up. I cream that sugar for 60 seconds, and now we need to add 2 eggs. 1, 2. Now we're gonna whip the eggs into the butter and the sugar. And that's gonna go for about another 60 seconds. Another 30 seconds for light and fluffy action. Done. Add 1 teaspoon vinegar and 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Now we add 1 cup of buttermilk. It makes a fantastic red velvet cake. You just need to do it. Adding the red food coloring, you need 2 tablespoons of this, and it's messy. Okay, a little faster please. Now we're gonna add our flour and chocolate and all that stuff in our dry bowl into the mixer. You're gonna mix it up for about 2 minutes, and this is what your batter should look like. That consistency. I'm using double paper cups for the bottom of my cupcake. Now we wanna fill the cupcakes. I like to get them pretty close to the top. I aim for the center and I scoop it out. Okay, clean up aisle 9. So pop them in the oven at 350 degrees for 24 minutes. Let's make our frosting. You need to have 1 cup of cream cheese. This is the classic red velvet cake cream cheese frosting taste. 1/2 cup, which is 1 stick of room temperature butter. And the cream cheese is room temperature too. So we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to our frosting. And we're gonna mix that up. And little by little, cup by cup, we're gonna add our powdered sugar, also known as confectioner's sugar. You're gonna need to add your 3 cups of powdered sugar a little bit at a time to that 1 cup of cream cheese and that 1/2 cup, 1 stick of butter. That's at room temperature. If you don't have it at room temperature, you're gonna get lumps of cream cheese or lumps of butter in this. Here comes the 3rd cup. You're gonna whip it good for about 3 minutes. It's done. It's been exactly 24 minutes. Let's see if they're done. Most people will stick a toothpick in it and see if it comes out clean, and if it does, you're good to go. But I like the dimple test. If we push our little finger down into the center of one of those big ones, we see if it bounces back. If it really bounces back fast, you're fine. But even if it leaves a little dimple, I'm okay. It'll keep it moist longer. It won't be dried out. So that is perfect for me because I know it's gonna finish cooking in that tin. To get Frosties not to melt, you take them out of that cupcake tin and spread the gang around. I am very generous with that frosting. I put a big old lump on top of him. Cream cheese frosting is not too sweet, so I need to sprinkle that snow all over him. That's a mountain of a snowman. I found these eyeballs right in the grocery store. That was pretty cool. And as I was grabbing for my Covered Cherries, which is my favorite, but they're messy, so you have to dry them off before you stick them in to be the nose. So place little cherry. Let's give him a big stash. But I got it wrong. The mustache goes under the nose. Who knew? Oh man, things don't always happen the way you plan them. Comment and let me know what happened wrong in your recipe. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Eyeballs, here comes the mustache snowman. Bing! I'm gonna make my cherry juice cocktail. A little sparkling water. And that, don't let that syrup go to waste. It's the bomb. Merry Christmas. A cherry on top. Today we're going to make Rum Balls. This is one of my very favorite gifts to give away to my friends. They love it. It's homemade and it's really inexpensive. The ingredients for this dish are chocolate cake. I made this yesterday. It's been air drying. Some rum, some melted butter, chocolate chips, and then toppings. I've got a whole bunch of toppings. Some of my favorites are sea salt and then cayenne pepper. And then I've got some broken up candy canes, some white chocolates, some red sugars, and white sugars. So whatever you have around the house is just fine. So take your cake and just scrape it into a bowl. And now you want to break it up and crumble it. It's going to be soaking up that rum, so dry is fine. And you know what? Go ahead and get one at your grocery store if you like, or if they have the day-old cake sale, get that one. That's the best deal in the house. Now comes the fun part. I'm gonna add 2 shots of rum in there. 1, 2. And then add 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Now combine all that together. Depending on how old your cake is, it may not be wet enough for this, especially if you go get it at a grocery store. You don't know what the consistency is. So, in that case, you might need to add another shot of rum. I encourage that. You gotta have the hand test. That is holding together really well. So while that's soaking in, I'm gonna start melting my chocolate. I'm using semi-sweet chocolate chip, but you can use candy bars that you chunk up, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, whatever chocolate's your favorite. Here we go, 2 cups. Now we need to put it over a double boiler. I have a small pot and I have a glass bowl, and I have water that's just about 1 inch in there, and I'm bringing that up to a boil. I want the steam to get my bowl hot. I do not want my bowl touching the water, so it's right above the water line. I'm gonna put that in. It's on high to bring it to a warm heat. I put the chocolate chips in, And turn it to medium. You don't want to scorch it. So that's just gonna sit and rest. Don't play with it. Let it just sit there and be happy. And we're gonna go to our next step now. I'm going to make a little platter that I can put my little rum balls on. So this is kind of be my target zone of the size I want. So I'm using a little teaspoon. I'm eyeballing it, and then let's roll them up. This is my sample pack. Oh, that looks good. He's working. Okay, on to there he goes. So you get the idea. I'm gonna put these in the freezer for 15 minutes and then we're gonna top them. It's been 15 minutes, they're ready. Let's check on our chocolate. I see it's glistening on top. That means it's getting to the melt factor. So I definitely wanna turn this down. I don't wanna scorch it. If you scorch it, it's gonna be grainy. So the bottom layer is definitely getting creamy. You want it really flowing when you dip your little rum ball in there. I'm gonna turn that way down on low. And that just turned out great. You see that beautiful gloss. Yay, it's ready. So with your long prong forks, you're gonna drop them in the chocolate. I'm gonna do 2 at a time. And then you roll them around. Make sure you let it all drip. There he goes. The last one. These will only take a little tiny bit to firm up. And they're sitting on that cold plate too, and that helps. Now to top them. I have some candy canes I crushed up. I just put 2 candy canes in a bag and you just crush it up really good until they're fine. So while they're still a little wet, you want to add your topping. That looks good. This guy is going to have a little piece of white chocolate on him because I think that's just kind of cute. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Ho, ho, ho. This is the one I'm going to try. Rich and delicious. I love that peppermint. Really brings it up. So anyway, you want to make your rum balls, pick your favorite and make them for your friends. Subscribe to my channel and let's keep cooking. It's so much fun. And today we're making a great Christmas treat. You can even give these away as gifts. It's super fast, super easy, and super, super delicious. I'm making Mazzetto Maraschino Cherry dipped in chocolate. The ingredients for this dish are maraschino cherries with the stems on top, chocolate pieces and white chocolate pieces for the decoration, a baking sheet with parchment paper or wax paper, because they're really messy and that's gonna hold them till they firm up. I have melted chocolate so much in my lifetime and this is the easiest way to do it and it's my trick. I pop it into the microwave. I'm gonna pop them both in and then I hit 2 minutes. I hit power level 5 because I want it 50%. I don't want one edge of it to get too bubbly or too done fast because it'll make it really chalky and be hard to work with. And I'm gonna start that. I want to show you. And here's the chocolate. 2 minutes, see? Now that is too thick to be dipping. Now at this stage, it is like almost there, but I'm only going to stick it in for 30 seconds for the both of them because I surely don't want to overcook this. I just want to have it so it's a little more runny off my spoon. So I'm going to pop them in and give them a go. That still does not seem to me to be done. It's got to go in for another 30 seconds. White test, same old deal. Stir it around. A 30 more second shot in that microwave is probably the ticket. Okay, good enough for government work. Let's get making our chocolate dipped cherries. I take a cherry with the beautiful long stem out of the jar. I dab him here, and then he gets dipped in the chocolate. Go take a swim. And then I twirl him. Bop, let the extra come down. I'm gonna go like this to have a cheat. And there he sits. Next, now I'm gonna have fun with the white decoration on top. And very thinly on the fork, you can spread it. You might wanna practice on one, and I'm gonna practice on this one. That's pretty. And I'm kind of glazing it through. You can also do it with a toothpick. I love making things like this that I can share with my friends. So you get the idea. I'm gonna put these in the fridge because they need to cool down and chill up for about 30 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm making my favorite drink with the cherry juice. I'm throwing ginger ale on some ice And then comes in about a quarter cup of cherry juice. Okay, little swirl there. It's fabulous. So Merry Christmas and enjoy your box of chocolates. This time you know what you're gonna get. And today we're going to make Christmas candy cane brownies. The ingredients for this dish are flour, sugar, dry cocoa powder, salt, butter, eggs, vanilla, some more butter, candy canes, and powdered sugar. Let's get started. In my bowl, I'm going to put 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And in that bowl it goes. All we're doing is aerating that flour and kind of breaking it up. I'm adding 2 cups of sugar. We need 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. Now let's combine all that together, all these dry ingredients. Oh my gosh, I can really smell all that chocolate. So now we're gonna add 1/2 cup of butter, but we gotta melt it. And in my microwave, that's 1 minute and 15 seconds to melt that whole stick of butter. So in goes that butter. And add 4 eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now we're gonna stir that up. Now I do this by hand. You don't need an expensive mixer to get this part done. That is our batter. Our batter is done. Now I'm gonna cook it in a 9x13 pan. And so I put this corn oil all over it because I don't want the sides to stick. I want it to come out really easy. So I take my little paper towel and I just run that around, dump and go. That batter is perfect. It is nice and rich. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now spread that brownie. You want an even thickness so it's gonna cook evenly. Okay, now I'm gonna stick it in that 350 oven for 30 minutes. So we need 2 cups of powdered sugar. This is 1 frosting. I'm actually gonna use a sifting device. It feels like snow to me, which I like. It's gonna make a smoother frosting by sifting it. So as we make our frosting, I'm gonna put in some of that powdered sugar, maybe half of that amount to start. And I've slightly melted the butter because I want to get it to room temperature. That's gonna go into, that's 3 tablespoons. Turn that on, and I'm gonna add a teaspoon of milk at a time to get the consistency I want. I've added 4 teaspoons of milk, and I'm going to add the rest of my powdered sugar. And on high for the last 20 seconds. Oh, that's loud. Now that looks really good. And it tastes good too. That butter is awesome in it. So I'm going to get my candy canes ready to decorate on top. So I'm going to whack it. So easy. And then with my handy dandy roller, just finish the crushing process. There, now look at that. It's been 30 minutes, they're ready to come out. Ooh. Smells good. Okay, toothpick. Yep, came out clean. So my goal is to get this onto this pan. So I'm going to use a baking sheet to make the transfer. Oh my gosh, it worked. Doesn't always happen that way. There could be problems in the kitchen, but this time it went well. Okay, here we go. I missed the target. Here. So while that's still warm, I'm going to put the frosting on, and that's going to melt. Okay, you just spread it around. So now I'm adding those crushed candy canes. It's like little candy cane snow on the top of that. All right, let's cut this. Wow, and it's so warm. Yummy, this is gonna be delicious. There we go, cut little pieces of it. Oh, how cute is that? Let's give it a try. Oh man, that buttercream frosting is just the thing to hold that peppermint on top. It's delicious. Comment, tell me what you think, subscribe to my channel. Merry Christmas, yummy brownies, and enjoy your time with your friends and family. Happy holidays. And it's a rainy day outside, so it's the perfect day to make Christmas presents. Today we're gonna make candy cane cake pops. I got my Santa boots on, so let's get cooking in Santa's workshop. So the ingredients for this dish are a chocolate cake. This has been cooked last night. It's been sitting out because I kind of want it to dry a little bit. Cocoa powder, butter, powdered sugar, vanilla. I've got some white chocolate here, some sugar, decorating stuff, and of course our candy canes. They're the star. We also need the gizmos to put this together, and so I have an assortment of sticks just to let you know what can work in your house. So let's melt that butter. I want it really runny. And this is 25 seconds in my microwave. I heard it sizzling. I'm always worried it's gonna make a mess, so I kind of peek in to make sure it's not bubbling over and spilling all over the inside of my microwave. We're good. Pour your butter in your bowl, 1/2 a stick plus 1 tablespoon. And now we need to add 1/3 cup of our dry cocoa powder. I'm gonna mix that up because I want that chocolate and its essential oils to be melted with that hot butter so the essential oils come out. What I'm making now is a glue to hold the cake together into those cake pops. So to our chocolate base, I'm gonna add 1 cup of flour and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract to give it some more flavor. Ooh, a little more got in there. That's okay with me. And a good substitute if you don't want to make it at home is just buy one of those cans of frosting and add in 1 cup of frosting to this recipe. Okay, I want the taste test. Oh man. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. Okay, let's crumble our cake into this. Take our cake out of the pan and just start chopping it up as you put it in. I have a recipe online, which is chocolate cake by scratch, and you can use that, or you can use a box cake mix, or go to the grocery store and get a cake and just use half that cake. And if it has a little frosting in it, just decrease your frosting amount a little bit and you're fine. Good, I got it all. Now we're gonna break that up and we're gonna make a dough out of all of this. We're gonna incorporate all the frosting on the bottom of our bowl. This makes a really fudgy cake pop, which is wonderful. It's like having a bite of a fudgy brownie. When the time is right, you get your hands in it and you just mush it. Oh, this is fun. The kids will love this. Bring them in the kitchen with you. My boys loved doing this crafty kind of thing with me when they were growing up, and it always made the Christmas season feel more festive, the more activities we would do together to celebrate Christmas. And it wasn't really about the gifts, it was about what we made to give. So I hope that you make this and give this to your friends. You want to compact it because you want these things to stay on that stick. I'm punching it down to get the air out. I want them dense and chocolate and fudgy. And this is how you do it. This is perfect. So now let's make our cake pops. So I'm taking a tablespoon and I'm gonna take a big hunk. So you make a ball and you make it as round as you can. There's my first one. Let's see if that's gonna be the right size. Let's test it. Oh yeah, that's gonna look right. Good. Tiny Tim in the back. Let's do the math. So altogether we have 19 out of this batch. Just for government purposes, now you know what you're getting. So after they're all rolled out, you gotta stick them in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour, or you can do my way, which is quick to the finish line. I'm sticking it into my freezer for about 15-20 minutes while I get my toppings ready. Now comes the crafty part. Now I don't have a lot of patience. I'm not a very detailed person, but let me give you a trick on your cake pop sticks. So I kind of want them to mimic a candy cane. So to do that, I take a marker that's red, and I'm going to start at the top of my stick, lay it on its side, and then I twirl my stick around as I drag that marker down. The slower you go, the better it'll look. But I'm always in a hurry to get the finish line, so mine's not gonna be perfect. Isn't that cool? We need to crush our candy canes for the top of these. So I'm using 2 today. Now when I crush those candy canes, so I'm gonna use double bags. Otherwise, my whole counter gets kind of sticky. Whack it. There, that's pretty good. You can buy red sprinkles at a grocery store, but these are pretty expensive, so I make a homemade variety. Let me show you how I do it. I take red food coloring, and this is magic. What a trick this is. And you put a few drops in sugar, white granulated sugar. And then with a fork, you stir it up. And you break up those clumps of the food coloring. And look at that, we're making our own homemade red sugar sprinkles. I think it's really cool when you can do this kind of stuff in your kitchen for like nothing. Let's compare to what we buy at the store. The color's the same. Maybe this has got a little more sparkle to it, but I don't really think it makes that much difference. We need to melt our white chocolate now. Let's melt them in the microwave. So you stir it after 1 minute. You want to be really careful you don't scorch your chocolate, because if you do, it will be grainy. All right, they're ready. Before you finish them, give them another twirl in your hands. So we're using this white chocolate as our glue. So you stick it in your cake pop. There, that one's done. Meow meow. You want some candy cane cake pop? I love it when Kitty helps me cook. Oh, not to her taste. This has been blessed by the kitty. It's going to be even better. So before dipping them, I want this to set up, so back in the freezer it goes for about 15-20 minutes. You're going to need to melt your chocolate with a double boiler for the lollipop decorating part. So there we have a pan with a bowl that goes on it that doesn't quite touch the water. It's just going to get hot by the steam, and we pour our white chocolate chips in there. There I've added about 1 tablespoon of corn oil or vegetable oil. There. Now I think that's about right. Okay, let's dip it. So take your candy canes and just sprinkle. It's like snow falling down. It's like a snowball. Yum. Okay, what should we do with him? I think he's going to be red today. So sprinkle him with that red sugar that you made. Maybe a little dippy-do. These make such great Christmas presents. So let's try them. It's chocolatey fudgy, and these will last about a month. So subscribe to my channel, and let's keep making great food together. Comment, share me. Merry Christmas. I'm Rebecca Brand. Thanks for watching my special Christmas DIY recipe show. And write me a line. You can find me at RebeccaBrand.com and send me a recipe request. And let's make it together. Merry Christmas! And if you like this video on DIY Christmas presents, here's some more Christmas recipes right over there.